This movie review is brought to you by Soki13. Changeling is a 2008 film. It was directed by Clint Eastwood and stars Angelina Jolie. A single mother's son suddenly disappears, causing the mother to launch a citywide police investigation. But when the police declare they've found him, the mother expresses that it's a different boy, leading the LAPD to take extraordinary legal measures against the woman. I'm pretty sure most of you can agree that Clint Eastwood is an excellent director. Many of you might know him for his acting, but when it comes to his directing, it's no secret that the guy knows what he's doing. I already talked about Unforgiven. I said how great that film is. And Changeling is a movie that I never heard too much about, which is weird because while watching this movie, I felt certain ways that I've never felt before when watching a film. This movie completely blew me away. This is one of the best films I think I've ever seen, which might shock you, but that's the truth. After the first 10 to 15 minutes, the movie's main story gets underway, and from there on out, it has my full attention. There is never a dull moment in Changeling. From beginning to end, this movie is riveting. It feels like it was meant to be a 4-part series because after every single big segment is over, you feel like you would see credits rolling right after it, and then you would expect the next episode to come out about a week later. However, it is a 2-hour and 22-minute long film, which is not the worst thing in the world. For some of you, I bet that would be a problem because you guys hate long movies, but for me, the movie never gets boring. I'm always engaged in the story. Changeling always finds ways to keep the audience glued to the screen, and this film does have a lot of things to unravel. There is this huge mystery, of course, beneath the scenes where this boy is taken by somebody. We're not sure where exactly he is, but that's the film's main plot. But there are other elements in the film that also happen in the background that we do also have to uncover. Besides wondering where her child is, we also have to figure out who this new kid is, will the police department be uncovered, and what happened at the secluded ranch that eventually gets brought into the film. Let's talk about Angelina Jolie in Changeling. She is stellar. Because of her performance, you feel like this is no longer a film. It now feels like a real-life event unfolding before your eyes. She 100% conveys her frustration. You can feel it almost as if it's how she's really feeling. In this instance, it goes beyond a movie, and you start to become the same way, equally as frustrated, especially in this confrontation scene where she's trying to get answers from this man. He's not giving them to her, and you can see her frustration coming out. A lot of performances nowadays are Hollywoodized. They don't feel real. But in this movie, Angelina Jolie's performance feels authentic. It is one of the best performances I've seen from an actress in a very long time. She is excellent in this movie. And despite Angelina Jolie giving a great performance as the lead, there are other performances in the film that also deserve to be talked about. There are some performances in this movie that make you hate these people's characters. There's one guy who plays this criminal, and throughout the film, once you start to understand what he's doing, you want to punch this guy in the face. The rage was coming out for myself. As for Jeffrey Donovan, he plays a police captain who is responsible for putting Angelina Jolie in a mental institution, and after you meet this guy, you begin to hate him with a burning passion. Going back to all of Changeling's plotlines though, every plotline is worth digging your teeth into. There were a few times when I thought the film was not going to have my attention. I did not think that the movie would be able to keep me as intrigued as I was throughout the duration of Changeling, but that never occurred. I was always locked in because of how well this movie was directed and because of these excellent performances. Changeling's writing is fantastic too, and by the end of the film, originally I thought it was going to go down this conventional route, but that never happened. The film continues to move forward with more of the story left to be unraveled. Which, by the way, when this occurs, it never gets to the point where it is repetitive. You are constantly engaged. There is not a single story element in Changeling where you're not interested in what's going on. Plus, if you think the police in modern day are corrupt, just wait till you see what the police do in Changeling. These guys are ruthless. They will end the lives of people if it makes themselves look better. They do not want to make a mistake, and if they do, well, they'll do anything in their power to make sure that nobody realizes that. And of course, this is a spoiler-free review. I don't want to talk about too many things that will go into spoiler territory, but one thing I do want to mention is this film's ending. I won't say what it is, but the film ends on an ambiguous note. You're not sure what happens after the credit rolls, which, you know what, I really liked. This movie could not have ended a better way because there are some things that we still don't know in the true story of Changeling, so it's better to end on this note rather than just making up some Hollywood ending that would feel fabricated. To be completely transparent with you all, Changeling is the kind of movie that I don't get to watch too often. That's because there are barely any movies that are able to constantly hold my attention throughout their entire duration, but Changeling is one of those films that was able to do that, and for that reason, I freaking love this movie. It is directed wonderfully. Angelina Jolie gives one of the best performances from any actress that I've seen, and for Clint Eastwood, it's up there for maybe his best movie of all time. It came out the same year as Gran Torino, but this movie is far superior to that film. So guys, I am giving Changeling a 99%. Going into Changeling, I did not expect myself to love this movie nearly as much as I did, but it was a pleasant surprise. Now, I did have a couple of problems. That's why I didn't give this movie a perfect score, 1 point off of that. One of them is like, why didn't she just go to every single person who's ever met her son and have them talk to the police saying that this is not the same person that her son is? It's also based on a true story, though, so maybe the way it played out in this movie is how it played out in real life. I don't know, it's not a big deal, but for Clint Eastwood, it has to be one of his best films. He's made some duds in the past, like the 1517 to Paris, but when he has movies as good as Changeling, well, I can completely disregard any of his bad movies because of how good movies like this are made by him. But of course, if you guys also happen to see Changeling, be sure to let me down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. If you're new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.